The first one's definitely the best. What's your IP address? Have you turned it on and off? Yeah, they're very basic though, but they can do a good bit. Yeah, you have gigs and gigs of content in the homework folder, is what you're saying. Yeah, 64. Yes. Yes, and the oh my gosh, I don't even know. The new one's going to use the Game Boy player, Chromebook Cube. Yes. Yeah. Handle your business. I got one pretty quick,
Hmm.
surprisingly. I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, they did. Yeah. I don't know. mess. What's up? Fading in and out.
Hello, glad to be back.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I was under the weather last week. Appreciate y'all letting me take the time off.
He's employee of the month, though. Yeah, yeah.
I'll roll.
But he's still not musicals SR, which we played Halo with. This is stupid. Uh, I don't know. I never even checked.
Yeah, you gotta add the Phantom Menace back in there again. Yeah. You gotta add the Phantom again.
I'm not 100% sure. Yep. Get it quick. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, 3.99. It
No, it's
just
probably gonna be more than
depends.
that. No, 4.99. 4.99. Yeah.
I could hear I could hear Cesar and me earlier. Yeah.
4.99. Yeah.
Yeah. Either Cesar. I don't know. Um I still enjoy my PSVR. I haven't since I've moved, I haven't hooked it up. you know how they are. They don't want to they technically don't have any plans to sell those old games or offer them in any other capacities than what they do right now. But they also don't like people pirating their stuff in any game from any generation. So no, yeah, that was should have been a no brainer. But I mean, it's a handful of games, and I guess they thought about it as who's really clamoring for those. So I'm sure there's diehard, yeah, preservation, and I'm sure there's a couple diehard people that would just go crazy over that. But mm, yeah, I think so. No, I have not. I've heard a lot about them though.
I played the one on PS1, so way, way back in the day. No, I think it's the very first Tactics Ogre game. OG one. I think it's just called Tactics Ogre. The other one you might be talking about is it might be Ogre Battle. That's what you're talking about, which is different. It's in that universe, but it's a different type of gameplay. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what they. Oh, forget what I heard about earlier this week. Oh, it's Persona. How they're re-releasing Persona 5 Royal for um, Xbox and PlayStation 5 and all that. I guess somebody had asked about an upgrade path, and their response was, "No, we don't really have one. Buy it again." So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I mean, I believe so. But that
yeah, I think
the
I think it
Royale
was
version's been
vanilla.
it's been on sale for a bunch of times under $20. So I think it was just like you said, a
Yeah,
blog post. Yeah.
I mean they did show a bunch of stuff. The see-through mode where you can actually check your surroundings. You didn't you say you could do this with the Oculus Quest, where you? Mhm. Yeah, because they say that you can use that, to just to view, um, switch between the content and the view outside of the headset. You can use it to set up your play areas, like you were talking about. It showed them kind of adjusting and placing these like little, I guess, virtual boundaries. That way, because before with the original PSVR, it's just like a what 6x6 box, I think, and sometimes no. Oh,
That way you can see
th-
the terror of your friends' screams when they play Until Dawn, Rush of Blood.
other than that, they also showed off how, of course, if you have the like PlayStation camera, how you can stream yourself while playing VR. Um, they did show off. Oh yeah. They went over a little bit of the customized play areas, using the Sense controllers and, of course, the cameras. Um, Kind of showed, drawing your own little areas, and you can draw around obstacles. There's two different, I guess, resolutions. Uh, let's see, VR game content in 360 view. Content will be displayed in 4000 by 2040 HDR, uh, which is 2000 by 2040 per eye, 90 hertz or 120 hertz frame rate. Cinematic mode is players can view PS5 system UI and all non VR games media content, a virtual cinema screen. I used it on something, and I don't even remember what it was. I
I
think
did
you could, yeah, I think you could do it on YouTube and some of the other apps too, as well.
I did it playing Modern Warfare, the first remake of the first game, where it looks like you're playing on the big screen. Yeah.
And it looks like cinematic content is displayed at 1920 by 1080. HDR video, 24 slash 60 hertz, also a 120 hertz frame rate. So, yeah, still no release date officially or pricing or anything, but they're going to continue to drip feed this information. Yeah, that'll definitely be the yeah, that'll definitely be the biggest thing is to see what exactly they plan to launch with PSVR 2. Yeah, probably.
The only thing we're waiting on, right?
I'm about to say we never covered it because of our break, but there was that story where there was a patent floating around for PS5, supposedly integrating or having old accessories working with the PS5, such as like the PS3 media remote, the old Move controllers, and iToy. Yeah, what looked like a PSP or PSP Go.
You can
Would be the only three on there.
end up liking it and be mad when they close it. I know it's Sony. They're kicking us out. Yeah. They, the, all three of our consoles will randomly reboot or something like that or crash. Get them off. Yeah.
I don't know. Uh, It's funny that you mentioned that it's a that it was touted as a Halo killer. Would it be interesting if now, since the deal has cleared with that Sony and Bungie are now one studio, they brought them in because they know live services. Live service shooting games are, very high in demand. There's a high volume of them, but there's always a demand for something new, something fresh. What if they revive the franchise? Brand new live service Killzone game brought to you by its new developer, Bungie. Yeah, 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 so good. Hmm. Yeah. What's yeah? What actually a lot of people were upset about is not the fact that they said something about closing them or anything like that, or losing, that multiplayer for these titles. It was how sudden they are going offline. And I think I even saw like a screen grab of somebody going through like the user agreements, and it was something about, Sony's supposed to give like 90 days um, of notice, yeah, before they kill a server. I I don't know. I just saw it, and I saw that user agreement, and it said something about like the last time it was edited was in, I think, 2013 was the last time they updated that agreement. So yeah, I even played that Mercenaries. Uh, yeah, well, yeah, it was a while ago, but it was still pretty. It was a pretty solid, still a pretty solid experience. The thing is there's not very many people playing. I think in the match I got into, there's two other players. So yeah, could always boot it up and see. Yep, yeah, pretty good. Yeah, current. I was about to say, I want to say it was. Might even still be on there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole lot of Yakuza.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Making everyone.
Oh, I need to. Yeah, I need to pay him.
Same brand's the only one. And I just gotta find number 8 soon. Charge you $80. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have just went with Dave. Just Dave. Dave
Dave.
6.
Dave's not
Dave
here.
6. What's crazy is that this game came out in 1986. So when did the other 5 versions come out, or did it just start at 6? Was it like Ghost Simulator, a Goat Simulator, and it just skipped 2? Just went straight to 6.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking on their website here for Nintendo Life, and they don't really have any photos of it yet. No screenshots. Hold on, let me see. Zeros.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Oh, you'd be surprised when you watch the video that I'm looking at. You're fine with Dave. Diva. Dave Story 6, yeah. I, yeah, that's the only one, right? It's the only one in the series. Yeah. I yeah. I don't know. Hold on. I'm just gonna search Davia Story 5 and see if it brings anything. Uh, it's oh shit. It's on yeah, Davia Story 5 is on the MSX, the Cup of Soma.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Cobain one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Dave Dave's complete story.
All right, dude. I'm looking at eBay. The used copy of Dave's Story 5 is like $183.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. I'm clicking on the uh, it's floppy disk. The
Regular floppy or one of those
the
big
booklet
guys?
looks fire, man. It has like these anime characters that looks almost like police knots on the cover.
Hey.
Oh god. I'm looking here. Oh, Brent had is Davia. Yeah, is Davia. Yeah, that's it's not I don't think it's. Where's it at? I can tell you. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm looking at the kana and is Deivu Deiva Deiva
Dave.
Deiva. Hey, they got the first game, $130 for the PC 8801, and it looks like a fucking the biggest flop you've ever seen. There's two of them. There's the A and the B label one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. 007. Um, I don't know. See, I'm audio. If you give, because I may not exactly know, I may not exactly know 100% the names of some of those tracks, but like if you give me a 2 second clip of something, I'll be like, oh, yep, I know what that is. It's not bad. It
That's
could be
fun.
worth a try. Hmm. Link. Link has never been on an adventure. Blank has never been on an adventure.
Well done.
Yeah.
Another. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I ended up buying the Steam one. I think that was the one I bought from the U.S. stores to support. So yeah.
Saturday. Yep.
No, I'm still trying to get caught up to your level. I think I'm like level 90. So. Every time it's every day. It's every day. Jump. Yeah. It brings the best out of people. Infinite does. Better than what was that dude on Monday who just had our number the whole time? You end up trying to block him. Did you end up blocking him? still stuck on Halo Infinite, man. Was it El Gato? Yeah. I remember, yeah, I remember you were super mad. He's like, you were like, "Fuck this guy," and you were like, "I'm blocking your ass." I remember you, at the end of the match. I can't remember, was it El Gato? Yeah.
Mhm.
It wasn't Angry Mr. Meeseeks, right? It was like, who were the dumb ones? Angry Mr. Meeseeks. I remember El Gato. Uh, God. I remember because you're like, I'm blocking his ass. I'm trying to. I think. All right. I'm. Because I remember what. I remember the Archduke. Yeah. Taxable Ocean. It was cardboard. Cardboard. It was cardboard. Yep. With the E in it. Cardboard. That's what it was. Because it's like no matter, it's like I think as soon as I spawned, he was killing us, or then he would grab every super weapon, every grapple thing. He would grab everything. Oh god, cardboard. All right, for me, not much. I mean, I did play some Klonoa. I think I'm at the end of the first game. Oh,
It's not very
it's
long.
not. No, it's like I think I'm on like Act 5. I can't remember it. Usually, Klonoa has like some after game stuff, kind of like Kirby does, where it's like some continuations afterwards, where it does something in the bit on there. I don't remember if this. I know when I played the GBA ones that when you beat the game, it's like, oh, there's still another aspect of the game. You have to story wise, you play more levels or some bullshit like that. But like I said, I haven't played Clone in a long ass time, and I think this one's a port of the Wii one, right? Is that what it is? Yeah, yeah, because yeah, this was rebuilding the Unity engine, so I mean they pretty much redid the assets of that game. But I mean, this is like not the homage to the original PS1 one. It's like a homage to the Wii one, which is an homage to the PS1, right? It's like a fucking Inception squared. Um, yeah. So yeah, I'm almost, if I remember correctly, I'm almost done with it. I'm at the very end where they got, it gets more difficult when you got to get to like the orbs and different aspects, and I get to the point where like I don't need to get every fucking diamond available for that level because like there's shit up like super high, and you have to do all that puzzle s shit where you have to like jump up, jump off the guy, grab the other guy, jump off the guy, and it's like 2 second timing that you can just float your ass across to get to the thing on there. And I tried twice. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, I don't even know if I was like, yeah, I don't even think if I was like 10 and I had nothing to do, I would still do this. I'll be like, no, yeah, like back in the day, because I used to be like, I'll get fucking everything. This is the only thing I have. Can't tell you how many times I fucking sat there in Mischief Makers and got every fucking thing in that game because that's all I had. But yeah, like I said, I'm almost done with that, and it away, and you have the sword that you can use to repel attacks. So you can literally just bounce bullets back to different enemies. And as you're going through and get closer to this black hole, it starts pulling like these spirits from previous Chinese dynasties in there, and they're taking over like different statues or just warriors, and you get like you have to fight like Asura and like for bosses and everything. So you have like this general from like way back in the past in China is trying to activate the primordial flood to wipe the world clean and start it over again. And then you have a modern day General Lin who's trying to do the exact same fucking thing. So it's like, I mean, you basically have to stop him. But I mean, it is like it's a first person shooter. It's fast paced. It's cool. Like I said, you can move up your weapons. You get different weapons. You get like a shotgun, a regular assault rifle. The sniper rifle is OP as hell. Because there was a couple times I just pulled that out and just shoot people in the leg, and that's like usually the sniper rifle's one hit kill in most games, and it is in this one as well. It is. Actually, my phone is locked. Bright Memory Infinite. 2 hours. Yeah, it's a quick game. Yeah. There's only one weird part in the game. I think halfway in the game, it forces you to do like a stealth mission, like your suit jacks up, and then you see like a cleaver on the ground, and then you gotta like kind of walk around and just, I mean, which is fine. I like stealth aspects. It's just out of place in that game. But like I was saying earlier, Richard, it's like it's like Call of Duty. I'm like, there's points where I'm like jumping from a plane's wing to another plane that's racing towards a black hole in the sky that's sucking you in. And it's like it's all over the place. You use a grapple shot, shoot you across the map. It's like it is Call of Duty as fuck, you know. It's basically like I told Brent, it's $30. It's only 2 hours. Maybe $20 or less. Get it. I would recommend. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely worth it. I put it on PS5. I think this is the same one on the Series X and S, and then they have a Switch version, which I don't know how that would look or play. So, but it's all built on Unreal Engine. But yeah, it's a quick hit. It's good though. I mean, I have my fun with it. I don't know if I would go back into it, and maybe I don't know. Maybe in a couple weeks I might just go through it again because, like I said, it's very quick. It is, and it is satisfying how you shoot the weapons and you can repel attacks and just going through and fighting enemies and just going back and forth and using the gravity grabbing them and just kind of just balancing and doing different combos and everybody's a lot of fun. You're very OP, but it's done well. Yeah. But yeah, Bright Memory Infinite. That one, I think, that was the one, Richard, if you remember correctly, when the Series X was doing their show. I think that was announced on Microsoft show, and I think, yeah, because this one was done by a Chinese studio, and I think, like I said, it just released last week. So, yeah, because if you remember it, like if you bought the Steam version, they locked you in the upgrade. So. Because I remember people were doing that as well. I think, and then outside of that, the only other thing I'm playing is Live Alive. So I've been playing Live Alive. Yeah. And I think I ended up doing the Distant Future, which I completed that on the demo progress, and I never went back into the other. I think there was 2 other time periods in there. And when I picked up the game, I started the Edo period one, feudal Japan, I believe, and then this is where you play as a ninja, as was it Obu Maru? You're trying. They moved it right over, yeah. So I mean, you open up the game, it transfers and you save it over main game save. That's it is just fine. So, that one's the only one that I've actually had difficulty with, is because like that one, I think when you present it, they give you that ability where you can kind of like, it looks like wallpaper, you blend in and to the background, and then you have 2 ways to play the game at that point. So you could go through and just murder everybody as the ninja, or you can go through and play it complete stealth. And I never was sure which way was the right way, so I just went ahead and said fuck it, went online and looked it up. So there's different perks when you do one over the other, and if you do it in the middle, then you lose out on both perks. So it's like, and if you want to just murder everybody in the game and just go through that whole castle and get everybody, I think you have to kill all 100 people. You cannot just do 97 and complete it, then you won't get the bonuses. And then there's the pacifist way where you just go through and you avoid all battles except for the boss battles. But the catch on that one is there's certain battles that, I mean, if you get caught in the battle by accident, you can flee from them, but there's certain battles you can't flee from. So you have to be careful and make sure you miss those. But you do get a weapon, I think, that gives you like plus 40 attack at the end of it because you're sacrificing your ability to move up levels when you do battles. So, I mean, that's a unique way to play the game. So, like, when I played the distant future one where you play as an android that's called Cube that was made up on there was no battles on that one. I think the battles were all from what I played originally on there was like from a video game called Captain Square, from like what Squaresoft back in the day. So, and that was like your tutorial on that area on how to play the battles, and it was completely missable. I mean, you didn't have to do it. It wasn't forcing you to play that video game in there, so I could have just went on with the story and skipped that whole part on there. So that game's pretty unique, man. It's just each one plays differently. Some of them that is very battle focused on some of those vignettes, and then some of them are like you can go through and not do any battles. And then like the one I'm in right now is complete stealth. So like there's multiple ways to play with different perks on there. So I literally, and then the Ito one, I felt like I was doing something wrong because I don't know. I had to actually look it up online and look at the differences, and somebody had explained it. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. What's the goal? Either you go all in and get everybody, or you can go the full stealth route. I think I ended up just going the full stealth route because I think I had originally some people in like game FAQs where I look on there were having a hard time finding like 3 people that were left on the 100 counter because like as you kill somebody, it gives you a counter. Like you've killed one person, you've killed 2 people, and as you go, but it's like even when I played in the beginning, when they give you like your briefing, they really were kind of like pushing for you, like, hey, you got to go in here and save this prince that's captured, and it's like the whole story bit with that one is like I guess whoever's it's like one of those the shogunate are trying to overthrow the emperor at that time, and so like this guy's crazy, man. He's like he wanted to rip off the skin of that guy and turn him into a robot, and so it's like you had to get in there and save him before it happened. So it's like a lot of supernatural stuff, which was also part of the Edo period too. But yeah, I mean it's interesting. Like I said, I've only put maybe like 2 or 3 hours into it. So pretty good though. Yeah. I mean, I think most of the yeah. I mean, I spent. I mean, Square Enix is getting all my money this year, man. I got like a game coming out every month, and I'll probably gonna put. It's gonna bleed my wallet dry. So, I mean, some of that's probably pandemic based because some of that stuff probably got pushed back. Because I'm sure they don't want to crowd the market with all their shit every month. It's not great for them either. You don't want to put too much out there and hurt sales from other stuff. But yeah, the ones that were never good enough. They could have sold 30 million copies and they would have came out, but like wasn't enough. Tomb Raider should have sold 50 million copies. I mean, I could have sworn they sold well. They sold better than most games, but whatever, man. Sure. Yeah. Be like me when I buy every fucking version of Deus Ex. I sat there and I think I got like regular and I got director's cut and on PS3 and then director's cut on Wii U. I'm like, I don't know how many times I gotta fucking buy that game to get the 3rd game in the fucking trilogy so I can finish the story. Divided. I at this point, I mean that my best chance now is when they got sold. So I mean it's there, right? I mean the chances there. I mean they're gonna make another Tomb Raider. That's probably the first thing they're doing. So that and just or keep reskinning people in Avengers and keep doing that. But whatever. It was an Embracer Group, wasn't it? Yeah, Embracer Group had that crazy thing that what did they do, man? They bought all they do Embrace, man. But I think they spent all that money. They went back and bought all those old IPs, like on old consoles and systems. They spent like I think it was something crazy like $2 million where they just bought they bought like ways to play the games that they acquired. It was weird. Like um basically, yeah, like basically they went back and got ISOs to some of their games. They spent like just on their back catalog alone, they spent money just on ways to replay them. Um I don't know if it's a preservation side. They just know that they have those IPs and people want to pay and play them again. I mean, yeah, no, but nobody. I mean, usually nobody wants to fucking do the work. That's the thing. They're doing the work. I forgot what somebody came out with an article where they talked about how much money they spent on like just different ways they can play fucking Gex. Like they bought PS1 versions, Saturn versions, PC versions, like of the IPs that they own. To say, all right, what can we do to get this on some kind of playable fucking platform now? Like they actually have it there. Like so, I mean, or the 4 version of fucking Gex. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll see if I can find it somewhere. I remember reading an article about it, and I was like, I don't remember who somebody. It wasn't. I'm not gonna sit here and bring it up, and we can have Brent go on to what he played. I can look it up by then. But I remember reading it. There was not many people talking about. There was somebody who wrote an article about how much they fucking invested on that. Like just on their ways. I was looking at it. Yeah, it's like what was that? I don't think me and you ever had that. Did we have that conversation, Richard, about 1776? You ever seen that movie? Never seen that movie. The musical that came out that celebrated the bicentennial of the birth of America, I guess, whatever. Yeah. So, but it's like a musical version of it, and like they came out, and it was crazy because somebody was talking about like who keep. I think they've re-released this thing. Like somebody, I somehow got dude. It's funny because somehow I got lost in the thread and the Blu-ray.com, and like yeah, and I don't even know what this movie is because I just started clicking around in there and I went in the thread and when they announced it and then people were excited about it, it's like some guy was like, me and my wife watches this every July 4th. I'm like, really? There's people out here that does this. I'm like, and I was like, I've never fucking heard of this movie. And I was like, I was going down and they were talking about like all the shit they did with this movie. And this is a Sony movie. And I'm trying to find the like what they add on there, but I'm not going to take up too much time. But they legit on there's like 7 different versions of that fucking film on that 4K Blu-ray. Like they have the VHS version that has extra 2 minutes. A Laserdisc version had extra 15 minutes that was cut. And it's like they went back and they like found every fucking version of 1776 and it's all playable on that 4K Blu-ray. And it was fucking crazy. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 different versions from like multiple mediums. And I was like, yeah. But yeah, I somehow got lost in that whole article. I was like, what the fuck is this, man? Yeah, go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry. I don't want to take it too much. We don't want to turn to the 1776 show. It's the last thing we fucking needed. All right. All right, Richard. And Brand, I'm sorry, Richard. I know this is gonna fuck up your thing. I posted a link in the chat for that article. We can talk about on here before we leave. It said Embracer Group has spent 2 million on 50,000 games for its retro game archive. Yeah. Mm. It's the I forgot what it was. The Dreamcast one was like a director's cut where it had like it's the PS1 version and they added like another game in there. It's different. It look on the surface it looks like a straight port, but it's not. It's pretty much a different game. But that's but the Dreamcast one I'll add this the arcade perfect one. That's the one I played just like. So were you downloading these from? Yeah, but no, I mean I are we going to the same alternate storefronts? Because there's an alternate storefront place I go, I get everything. Yeah, I played that. Yeah, I played that 64 version with expansion pack upgrade. That's the one I played. Yeah. Yeah, but the RC one, I don't know, man. I think like what was it for me? It was like I loved 1 and 2, and then I never played 3. I went with the went with single track when they did Rogue's Trip, and then played Rogue's Trip. And that was the true 3 for me. Kind of like Lost Odyssey was like Final Fantasy 13. Um, yeah. So, but
The triggers, because I mean, of course, you play as a cat, and you have like things that you can even stop and like scratch on, and the triggers get really like stiff, and you have to like work them back and forth, and as the cat like scratches up and down, whatever it is. Um, if you walk on something metal, you can hear the like tapping of the pads of the cat's paws on the metal, and you can kind of feel the haptics. Uh, uh, oh yeah, yeah. Um, and then just the visuals of the game, all the scenery, and the lighting and everything. It sets the mood perfectly. As you walk around this, what starts off as like just a desolate city, there's nothing, and then you wind up walking into this area where there's these robots, and they're uh, at first they think you're, gosh, I can't even remember what they call them now. There's like these little things, and they look like head crabs from Half-Life. Yes. And they started off as like some bacteria, and they just grew and mutated, and now they can just eat anything, even metal. So the robots are afraid of them. And yeah. So at first they think you're one of them. And so, you've seen that in the trailers. The robots kind of like run away from you. But eventually you get to the point where you can explore and um, just continue through the story. There's some good references. There's a Back to the Future reference in there, and uh, some just through some characters. Yeah. Um, but it's good, man. I played for I think just under 3 hours. So but you were trying not to watch. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I really don't want to, because there's so many like little funny things that you can do and get in there. I will say some of the physics are janky. Um, there is no jumping from one thing to the next, just like free jump. It's you walk up to something, and if you can jump up on it or to it, it'll have like a little X, and you can just jump from one thing to the next or whatever, which does a really good job of guiding you, of kind of showing you exactly where you can traverse. They do a very good job of guiding you through the levels, and kind of just showing you where you need to go through. And they just kind of like how Uncharted or any of those games do. They give you some kind of visual clues as well as just the layout and everything. But like I'm saying, the some of the physics are really janky. I think there was one point where I knocked a box over, it like flipped over, and I jumped down, and I eventually like got into the box, and the box was just on me, and it was a little janky. There's some stuff that because you're a cat, you can get up onto these shelves and things, and you can knock stuff over, and there's some stuff that you might knock a bottle over, and it falls down fine, but then you may like walk up next to a coffee cup, and it just goes flies off. You're like, what the hell? So, but it's pretty good. I'm having fun with it. Like I said, I won't talk too much on it, because I'll let you experience for sure, because it's a fun little game. I'm sure your kids are gonna enjoy it. It's worth it. I probably will buy a physical um copy of this as well, just because it's an indie studio, but they did a really good job. Everything I played, I was very, very impressed. And oh yeah, and I even heard that the people that are behind this game, they're doing stuff to even help. real life shelter cats and things like that. So I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty cool. If they're helping animals in need and stuff. That's pretty cool. All animals. I love animals, man. But that's yeah, that's it. Good. See you.
Adios.